He might not be from Krypton, but he's heads above the rest. His knowledge can't be questioned. You can put it to the test. So if you want to hear the truth and have nowhere else to go, I'll give you the solution. Just tune into his show and just kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
And still floating in space, welcome everybody to the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain all across YouTube. Despite you, Mr. Loki, I know you would argue that Loki is better, but here he is, Mr. Zod. Welcome everybody to the show. We've got some great news that couldn't wait. I had no clue I was doing this stream. Father Zod said, well, you know, son, I have some great news for you today. We've got some groundbreaking stuff. And I said, whoa, Father Zod, whoa, calm down. And he goes, no, we've got to do a show tonight. So here we are. We got some new stuff, some stuff nobody is talking about. What up, Kat? How's it going? Welcome, everyone. We got some new stuff to talk about. It is going to be great. We got some new JD stuff. Actually, Father Zod, I had something that I wanted you to comment on as well, you and PB, that you didn't know I was going to bring up, but I know you know movies. So when we get into Johnny Depp, maybe you can give your thoughts on something that happened recently. Anyways, how are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good. And listen, the real reason I told him that we needed to do a show is because we're 87 people away from getting to 1,000. So we're just trying to get people to subscribe so we can get to that magic mark. So, you know, once again, Mr. Zod is kind of stretching the truth, but we still love him.
I'm a villain.
Yes.
And of course, we can't start things off without Mr. Pop Culture PB, who I lassoed earlier. He was like, wait, we don't have a show scheduled today. And I go, of course you do, PB. You're on the payroll. You have a show every night. He goes, oh, yeah. Okay.
He was pulling the beer into the woods and hiding it.
I just got back from the woods. That's true. Only been in the house for about 25 minutes. It's 0 degrees out Fahrenheit for all of the non-American people. Do the calculations. I don't know what it is.
You know, here in Texas is 20 degrees, and it's never 20 degrees. And I guess it's part of that global warming.
You know, at this rate, I really wish global warming would be a thing. Isn't it supposed to be we get hotter, you guys get colder? I don't know. I half listened to The Inconvenient Truth, which was sitting through that movie, was an inconvenient truth.
Oh my God. I'd rather watch Harry Potter.
Okay. Oh yeah. But welcome everybody. So we got some new stuff. Let's just jump into Johnny Depp because I wanted to pick your guys' brain about something before you got into your stuff. This was a little surprise stuff that I have. And oh, hi, Diamond Knight. Diamond Knight is here. I'm so glad to see her. I haven't seen her in the chat a while. There is something I pulled. So if you guys don't know, I did a live stream yesterday. And I wanted to bring this back up with you, which, by the way, the Kai live stream was great. Him and my mother said to tell all of you people and anybody who will rewatch, thank you for your well wishes. He saw the video. He's actually recovering. Still not out of the woods, but all of your positivity has seemed to help. He's on the mend. So thank you, everybody. I told my mom, she was excited. You know, she wants to wait till he gets out of the hospital, but when he gets better, he was so moved by all of the overwhelming support that him and my mother were going to come on stream and talk to you guys about everything that's happened. So, thank you everybody for your support. It meant a lot. It could have made someone recover. I don't know. But, the power of positivity. Anyways, the other part of that stream was, so guys, the media did something spectacular yesterday, and this has to do with Johnny Depp. They did something spectacular. They quoted box office figures that don't exist for Johnny Depp's new movie that hasn't come out. It's supposed to come out.
Whoa. So they made money on a movie and it didn't even come out yet?
No. This is called screeners, right? They still tally the money, and what the screeners do, give them a feel of how much the money will make in select theaters. Then they release it. Well, the journalist wrote it like this was the domestic box office, but the movie isn't out yet. The February 5th release date was private screenings and special select theaters. It doesn't get an international release till February 12th. But the critics wrote a hit piece on it, and they quoted it as only having $15,000 in the box office, but it doesn't have a box office. It's not out anywhere yet. They tried to assassinate the movie. They made a mistake on the release date, and the New York Post, of all papers, had to come out and correct them. So what do you guys think about this? Like, is anyone surprised? Is this not the most spectacular show of just how unreliable and biased the media is? Is that not like the most spectacular thing you've ever heard?
Well, you know what it is? They are literally they're doing everything in their power they can to put an end to Johnny Depp. And a lot of it has to do with his salary. And a lot of it has to do with everything. And they're very mad because of all these people turning on Amber Heard because she's part of a lot of big movies. And with all these actions being taken, these petitions and stuff, now because of what's happening with Aquaman, it was going to be a guaranteed hit. They can name the figures. They knew they were going to get near, worldwide $1 billion. But now they're so unsure. Literally, this whole thing with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp is probably going to cost them $500 million easy. So they're into this. So they're not going to back off. Disney is not going to back off. And can you pull up that story?
The mouse never backs off.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, too, just to add on to this, Magic Mayhem said, and this is a true thing, this is real, they hid the retraction in the obituaries. Like, dude, these guys are scumbags. Oh, like they gave their retraction was like that big. It just baffles me. It baffles my mind. All right, what we got here?
Well, first of all, let's understand. Now, this is an older article, so I'm sure a lot of people have read it, but there's a few things I'm going to throw into it. First of all, Johnny Depp said, okay, now, how Disney is like all for the gay characters, the gender characters and all that. Johnny Depp says the reason that they wanted to get rid of his character, Jack Sparrow, is because he got a call from one of the women that run Disney, and she's gay. And she calls him up and starts saying to him, what is Jack Sparrow? Is Jack Sparrow gay? Is he a gay pirate? What exactly is he? And being that Johnny Depp is such a great actor, they could not figure out what exactly Jack Sparrow or who he was. Because a lot of people said he's a gay pirate. But Johnny Depp won't say. He won't say. He's like,
that's the greatest. This is why I love Johnny Depp. That's the great pirate job.
So Johnny Depp told them his exact words were "Nunya." He says this to the lady, and she goes "Nunya," and he goes "None of your business." And so he's telling this. He's telling this to one of the heads of Disney. So here you have the pirate. They cannot figure this pirate out. Is he a gay pirate? Is he a drunk pirate? Or is he? And Johnny goes, they even asked him if he's a retarded pirate. So, so Johnny said, well, then Johnny Depp was messing with them saying, well, maybe he's a drunk gay pirate. And it's like, but it was part of him doing that character. And that's what made the character so popular, because everybody said that. Everybody was like, what's the story on Jack Sparrow? Who is he? They didn't think about the fact that he would dress up as Jack Sparrow and goes to hospitals and raises money for kids in that character and stuff. So basically, it's your typical Hollywood hypocritical stuff. We're for this, and they're so worried whether this character is a gay pirate. And they couldn't
Joanna said he's a drunk bi pirate.
Yeah.
But here's the beauty, though. For a performance like this, shouldn't it leave to the question of how you want to view it, right? Because he's been slapped by women, but he does kind of have those little tendencies where you go, he could go that way. I'd like to think it's like this undeclared thing. He's the people's pirate. He could be whatever kind of pirate you want him to be. He's not in this box. That's what makes the performance so great.
And so Disney has come out and said, okay, so we'll just say everybody on the ship now is a lesbian pirate. How's that? It's like we're living in this world of like weird, think about it. It's just weird. We're talking about gay drunk pirates. We're talking about lesbian pirates. They're acting as though all pirates back then were gay or lesbians. There were no pirates. It's like if you watch the Super Bowl this year, it was so woke, you would swear that white men did not exist on the face of this earth anymore. Literally. Not one commercial had a white guy in it.
Those commercials,
they were the worst.
There was one commercial that had a white guy. The M&M's commercial had Dan Levy was the star of the M&M's commercial. He's a white guy, but he waves the rainbow flag, so they checked the box there.
Yes, exactly. They checked the box. And then on top of that, the heroes of the Super Bowl were Tom Brady and Gronkowski, who were white guys.
I love
it. So they're like, oh, okay, well, what the hell are these two white guys doing messing up our anti-white guy plan? So it's like, it's unbelievable. And and this is how dumb they are. And this is just a thing about the Super Bowl real quick. They said that the ratings went down for the Super Bowl, which is false. What's happening is people are turning off CBS and going to stream. And they're streaming it because they don't have to watch any of this shit. They don't have to watch the commercials. They don't have to be, they can watch whatever they want to watch. They can pause it, speed it up. The streaming record, it was a record. But they want to make it sound like, nobody wanted to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, even though their streams were set an all-time record for a Super Bowl. By far, it smashed all records. And, they just don't.
The streaming is different and it's tallied differently, so they can play the numbers with the regular cable, but they fail to neglect to tell you what the online figures are because they don't want to give people that little tidbit. They want it to seem like all of this stuff happened, but let's be real, no one's watching cable anymore. Anyways, Kat says, blank rich white privileged men. I love that.
And something. I know a lot of white men, but I don't know rich privileged white men.
Certainly. Well, I'm Kryptonian, so that doesn't count. So I guess I don't fall into that category. PB's ginger, so he doesn't count. You're bald. So
I'm only half ginger guy. I only have red hair on my face. The hair on the top of my head is mostly blonde.
God, just picturing what you look like in my head right now is really disturbing. You're a
I
blonde
look
ginger.
like my picture, except not cartoonized. Correct, Zod?
Yes, that was one of the first things I said when I met PB. I go, you look just like your icon. Like,
you know, first thing I said when I
literally.
met the first thing I said to PB when I met him, you look just like that dude that was in the golf cart with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
I can't believe those pictures got out.
Basically, Disney had already backed away from the Pirates' future with Depp well before the UK trial. Even if it was never formally severed ties, Brockhammer, who has been one of Depp's biggest champions and once suggested the finger injury happened because he got caught in a car door, was hoping to at least bring the Captain Jack Sparrow character back briefly in the next outing. Said to be a female-centric incarnation fronted by Margaret Robbie, Disney balked at it. So Disney does not want anything to do with Johnny Depp. That's what it comes down to. You know what it really has to come down to? They don't want to pay that money to Johnny Depp. It's all about money.
Oh, yeah. This is 100. I told people this before. People got mad. And I go, I don't really blame Disney, and I'll tell you why. Because Disney had already, before this, they didn't get rid of him because of the UK. That's not what happened. They were backing away from this well before the UK trial. That's just the excuse that they used. It's just a way for them to have what they think is an easy out. This was never about, oh, he lost his libel suit. Disney doesn't care. They still have James Gunn, and that man was fired. They fired him, and they go, hey, James, just back away for a little bit, and then we'll make like we fired you. And then once people forget about all of this stuff, we'll hire you back on. They hired him for a new Guardians movie, and he was charged with some crazy stuff, worse than Johnny Depp. And he's still on the Disney payroll. That's not their issue.
Okay, well, I still stand by that. I don't think that he was ever fired.
Oh, no. I don't think he was fired either. I think publicly he was fired, but behind the scenes, they were like, yeah, man, just hide behind the water cooler. It's all good, right? So if they want someone, they'll keep them. This is a play that Disney wanted to do before for a long time now. They want to take the Pirates in a different direction. They needed an out. They got this whole libel suit thing happening with the UK, and they were like, okay, good. We're done, right? But now they didn't expect people to sign a petition by the millions. We're not talking about thousands of people here. We're not talking about 10 people got mad and they went on and they did it. We're not talking 20. We're talking millions. 300 million people. Could you guys just think about 300 million people? Father Zod, have you ever heard of petitions that have had so many of millions of people sign them? Millions for anything?
No, not really. You know, maybe for some recalling the governor of California. There's a petition out there that has well over 1 million.
Oh, why would you want to recall America's most favorite governor, Gavin Newsom? He just loves everybody so much that he tells them they have to stay in their house so that he can get a reservation whenever he wants.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Gavin Newsom, he was married to the woman that is now going out with Don Jr. Trump. So she has been with that guy, the Governor Newsom, and now she's with Donald Trump's son. I can't think of it. Guilford is her name. When you think about that, that's kind of funny that she's like, I guess she knows how to pick a man when she wants one. Okay. If you want to pull up that next article, I'd appreciate it, Lee.
Okay, what is this next one on?
It's on Johnny Depp. Okay.
What do you think we're doing here, guy?
Okay, so here's what this is what I was talking about. This is what Johnny Depp said. Disney hated me. They were thinking of every way they could to get rid of me, to fire me. Oh, we're going to have a subtitle. We're going to have to subtitle him. We don't understand Captain Jack Sparrow. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with his arms? Is he drunk? Is he mentally fucking stupefied? Or is he gay? You know?
I just want to know something. What Disney exec said that spectacular word right there? Is he mentally fucking stupefied? That is the greatest combination of words. I wanted the opportunity to use that. That's spectacular.
Yeah. Johnny Depp's comments come from a completely unfiltered interview with GQ. I'm sorry. It's no secret that Depp and Disney had their differences. The actor had previously how he expected the studio to fire him because he wasn't following its wishes. He reminisced how he would get on the set and go completely rogue, tearing up the script and muttering that he felt was best for the drunken scoundrel. After working in a collaborative environment on independent films, working under big studios was a new experience for him. And Depp felt that if he wasn't challenging the values of Disney and making them unhappy, then he would be doing his job as an actor, right? Depp continued by divulging another conversation with Disney executive. They asked me, is he gay? I answered the question over the phone. It was a lady called Nina Jacobson from Disney at the time. And she is a lesbian. And she asked me a couple of questions and then said, what is it, Johnny? Is he gay? My tendency, of course, is to be irrelevant. So I said, Nina, didn't you know all my characters are gay? That was pretty abrupt ending to the conversation. And I just continued shaping Jack the way I believe best. Now we know Donnie Brasco was gay, and
well, forget about it.
Yeah, but it's funny because when you're that deep of an actor, I would think the only actor that is that deep would probably be what's his name, the guy that played Butcher Bill and
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Day-Lewis. I mean, and he's trying to make that. And so he's going to the studios and they're giving him scripts and he's tearing them up and saying, I'm going to play this pirate the way I want to play him. But you know something, but you know something, they really shouldn't say anything to him because he was doing that since 2006 when he first played him. So all of a sudden, like 10, 11 years later, they're getting upset that he's doing this. So he did this in 2006 and it worked quite well. So I don't understand why they were all upset at him. If it always worked, why were they trying to change him now? And they never said nothing for years. And now all of a sudden, and then he talks about Disney values. Let's face it. Disney has no values no more. Disney lost their values a long time ago. They're talking about a ship full of lesbian pirates. I mean, their values, it's obvious. They've gone another way, and that's fine if they want to go another way. But don't claim you got these values that you do not have. It's that simple.
Yeah, they play the values. The values card is that trump card they like to use whenever they don't want to do something.
Don't mention that name again on YouTube. You said Trump card. Say that again.
It's that ace in the hole that they like to use.
You can't say ace hole.
Yeah. So right now you've mentioned.
I'm done with the censors. I can't.
Jesus.
I gotta live my life. What? It's what they like to say. Whenever they have an issue, they like to pull the whole, we're a family company. We have morals. We have values. Yeah, when Walt was running it, you left those behind for money years ago. Bob Iger has no values. His value can be quantified. It's the green stuff. It's that paper money that he gets handed to him by the billions. That's his values. He doesn't have any moral values.
And let's face it. If it's business, it's business. But don't pretend that you're getting rid of Johnny Depp based on values, because every one of you freaks that work there, God knows what they have in their closets. Can you imagine what their closets look like? All those executives and stuff. If you open up their closets, what the hell would fall out of those closets?
I assume it's just a boatload of skeletons.
Yeah. There's that Disney princess we were looking for. It was in his closet,
Right? She had to be put on a diet. She didn't fit in the dress anymore. She fits in it now.
And if you listen to some of these kids from the Mickey Mouse clubs and some of the stuff they went through when they were involved with Disney, you would realize that that whole value thing is a bunch of BS. What they used to do with these kids and how they tortured them, abused them, and everything else, and how a lot of those kids' lives ended young because of some of the stuff they went through when they were working with Disney.
Whose kids are we talking about?
The House of Mouse, man, the Mickey Mouse Club kids and all those child actors. I've heard of some of those stories.
I want to say something right now, but it's going to come off as very anti-Semitic. So moving on.
Yeah.
You can't be anti-Semitic. You're a ginger. Gingers cannot.
Oh, that's right. I only have half a soul. I mean, you would think that if Disney was treating children poorly, they'd all be Jewish. There you go. That's a joke.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, the ever controversial Mr. Pop Culture PB. Thank you. Now I'll have Disney coming after my channel, so you'll never make a big hole.
Okay, so PB, what do you think about Disney talking about morals?
That's pretty fucking rich. Oh, sorry, we're not supposed to say the F word.
No, you're allowed to say. No, you're allowed to say it as long as it's not consistent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely pick and choose when I use my F-bomb.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's pretty rich coming from them, being that they literally only care about the almighty dollar. Like, morals be damned if we can make an extra $20. Can you make $20 on that corner? Go stand on that corner, and I will give you your cut of 20 cents.
Dr. Snoop, how are you?
And how long do you think that Disney knew everything about Harvey Weinstein? How many of those actors
from the beginning?
How many of those actors came from Harvey Weinstein? How many times did they make a call at Disney and say, can we use Jennifer Lawrence or something like that? And we all know about Harvey Weinstein.
I would use Jennifer Lawrence.
Harvey, she stood by Harvey's side. She was one of the few that's at least, she stuck up right to the very end.
There is a good point, and I hear this a lot in the comments, and I want to address this. I do have to give them credit on one thing, which is why I say out of all the companies, I choose the lesser of evil. I guess they did get subpoenaed by Amber Heard, and it was hilarious, the response from Disney, because the response was no. And could you guys picture, and you know what, Father Zod, I talked about this with PB, but I want to get your take on this. Could you picture when Amber Heard decided she was going to subpoena everyone in the world? Could you picture what Bob Iger's response was? Me and PB said we would love to be flies on the wall when Big Bob Iger, Big Boy Bob, was sitting in his office, and then all of a sudden he gets this thing on his desk saying that Amber Heard, who they were considering for these roles at the time, I'm pretty sure that aren't happening, she subpoenaed them for everything on Johnny Depp. And you can guess what Bob told her.
Yeah, well, and it's the thing. If you mess with Disney, and when they're showing you, it's like the WWE. I don't know how many people are wrestling fans, but one thing Vince McMahon always said.
I'm a wrestling fan.
Here's what Vince McMahon always said and always proved one thing, that no wrestler was bigger than the WWE, because he fired everybody. Everybody sooner or later got fired by Vince McMahon. So, and he always came back with the same ratings standing up. I mean, he fired Steve Austin. Who was bigger than Steve Austin when he was in his prime?
Not only did he fire him, but he turned it into a storyline.
Yeah.
And one of the most popular storylines. No one knew that was real. He really fired him.
Yeah. And then he got rid of Hulk Hogan and said to Hulk Hogan, oh, by the way, you can't use that name when you're not here no more. I own that name. So, that's most people he owned. He's not. Well, this next thing, I guess we're what's that say? Pick up the phone. We all close studios. We never hire a thing. Read that, Lee.
Selena says, pick up the phone and call the studios and say, never hire this thing again. She means Amber Heard. And at Mr. Zod's Fandom Zone, I'm a WWE fan. Salute.
Well, if you got to go look we did some shows on the WWE, and if you went and looked in Lee's library, you would see a few of them. Our family is very much in tune with the WWE, and if you mention my name around Vince McMahon, he wouldn't like my name at all, believe me. I know Vince McMahon personally.
Carol Lewis says Vince is someone who has less morals than Disney.
Oh, yes, he does. I want to know.
He literally used his daughter as a human sacrifice for a storyline. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Lee. Okay, so next we're going to talk about this HBO Max. What's been going on? The Sopranos. There's been a lot of talk about the Saints of New York coming out, and of Newark. I'm sorry, and it's situated during the riots of Newark, and this is the prequel. It's when the Sopranos characters were younger, and the movie is going to be based
a prequel to a riot.
No, a prequel to the show of The Sopranos. If you didn't like The Godfather, I'm sure you didn't like The Sopranos.
No.
I've never seen The Sopranos.
Context. I have talked about this. PB knows The Sopranos. If you guys are new on my channel, The Sopranos is one of my all-time favorite shows. Shut up, PB, because I know what you're going to say. The Sopranos are one of my all-time favorite shows. I love The Sopranos. You know what, Scoot? Everybody who didn't like the ending, I'm sorry. I thought it was brilliant. I can understand where you would be upset, but Tony Soprano is no longer alive, so the ending still holds. Ha! I win that discussion. I told people for years it was a brilliant ending. Anyways, I have been so excited, and here's the weird thing. There's been virtually no talk about this. So tonight for you guys, for all of you guys who might be Soprano fans, we've got some inside info on the brand new series.
Now, first of all, the movie is going to be based on Christopher, who Tony killed in one of the final shows, the second or the third from the last one. Christopher's father, and basically it's going to be 90% of it's going to be based on him. But this is the only trailer that's been released, and this could be showed because. It's done. Another gentleman put this on his site. This is not directly from Warner Brothers. So let me play this real quick.
Thank God, Warner Bros. Copyrights.
Okay, and here's
you got to share the audio.
Okay, we're gonna do this all over again. Okay.
Oh,
Stop the
StreamYard.
screen.
StreamYard.
Sure.
We've been
Okay.
asking you for months. It could have been going on a year at this point. I don't remember. Whenever anybody shares video, they want to share audio at the same time.
You right?
Figure it out,
Exactly.
StreamYard.
Hold on
Okay,
a
pull that
second.
up, please.
I want to say Magic Mayhem. This is not a remake. This is a prequel. There's a huge
Yeah.
difference.
It's a yes.
It's
What it is,
what?
it's the characters when they were younger and how their lives started off and how they got to where they got to in The Sopranos. Okay, and here we'll do this again. Whoops. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, I love the music.
Now, you know that's a teaser right there.
That was what? I'm
That was it.
disappointed in this, man.
Okay,
So I was feeling the music, and then the kids were running, and then damn, I'm gonna go on this guy's channel and I'm gonna write him a comment. I felt so ridiculous. Well, that's a teaser.
well, actually, and okay, here's the thing. They're releasing it on September 25th. That's the exact date. Now, here's the reason they're releasing it on September 25th. They were planning on releasing it earlier, but after watching it, they think this movie is so good that it might be nominated for an Oscar. So they want to put it out during Oscar time. They got a lot of faith in this movie for some reason, and the kid that they're showing in the beginning of this stream, that is Tony Soprano, James Gandolfi. It's his son in real life. He was with James Gandolfi when he had the heart attack and died. He was with his father. It was just them two together in Italy, and he's the one that went to his father's bathroom door and was knocking on the door, and his father wouldn't answer the door. And so he went down and he got people at the hotel, and they went up, broke down the door, and he was dead of a massive heart attack. So what I'm going to do now, put up some more information on this. Give me 1 second.
No, Dr. Soup, I don't think they cast Amber Heard. They already have enough streetwalkers in the show, so she wasn't needed.
Actually, the woman that they casted in the movie is 10 times the actress of Amber Heard, and you'll be seeing her shortly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited at the fact that this is a movie too. I will legitimately drag Bitchy to this. It will be great to see her reaction.
If you want to pull that up now, I'd appreciate it, Lee.
You mean Zod?
I mean,
I don't know
Zod,
who this
I'm
Lee
sorry.
fellow is. This Lee guy is making me jealous. I'd like to know who he is. Everyone talks about him.
Okay, so this is The Many Saints of Newark, 8 quick things you know about the Sopranos prequel movie. And over 13 years ago, The Sopranos aired its final episode on HBO. The prestige series' final hour had been heavily debated, but it hasn't robbed the acclaimed show of its staying power in pop culture. Even more than a decade after it concluded, The Sopranos remains one of the most discussed and celebrated shows in American history. And if it's not surprising to know that the creator, David Chase, has decided to return to his beloved property, but rather than contribute Tony Soprano's story, The Many Saints of Newark, the upcoming prequel film to adore the show, will take us back to the 1960s in order to explore the cinematic origins of our criminal characters. And Expectations are certainly high. The Sopranos multitude of fans will soon get a chance to see the movie for themselves when it comes to theaters and HBO Max later this fall. But in the meantime, we know a few quick facts about the forthcoming prequel, which we'll share with you. Here's what we know so far about the many saints of Newark. Okay, that's Tony Soprano, and as you know, he passed away. The actor that played him passed away it's been about 7 years now of a massive heart attack in Italy. While the show is shown for its abrupt departure, it is also pretty definitive, conclusive, and to the story. While there are avenues to explore, we could follow the way of its reminiscent of Breaking Bad's El Camino. Let's hope it's better than that garbage. From a couple of years earlier, David Chase insisted that the only way to return to The Sopranos was go back to the forward. Specifically, the upcoming movie screenwriter would take the story back to the 60s and follow Tony Soprano during his late teens or early 20s, before he became established criminal and disgruntled family man we saw throughout the series run. Certainly, many viewers would like to know how Tony Soprano became the man we know in the show. But that might not be the centerpiece of the story, but we'll discuss that in just a bit. This is Michael Gandolfi. That's James Gandolfi's son. And as you can see, he looks a lot like his father. He was also with his father when his father died, and at that time he was like 12 or 13 years old. The cast includes Michael Gandolfini, James Gandolfini's son as Tony Soprano. Quite sadly, James Gandolfini is no longer with us. The film and the television actor was only 51 when he passed away following a sudden heart attack, leaving the world with decades of great performances that would never be realized. He was an immense talent capable of being gentle or brutish, cold or approachable, and to know him only as Tony Soprano robs you of other outstanding performances. Certainly, it's hard to know that the channel actors' incredible performances, particularly under characters earlier. But in a touching decision, it was decided that Michael Gandolfini, the son of the late actor, would take over his father's famous character in the prequel. Considering that Michael Gandolfini has still established himself as an actor, we're still unfamiliar with what he can do as a performer, especially as this character. But that's certainly one aspect of the movie that we're very curious to see and discover for ourselves. Michael Gandolfini watched The Sopranos for the first time to prepare for his role. Born in 1999, Michael Gandolfini came into the world the same year that The Sopranos first aired on television. Considered a graphic material in the show, it makes sense that he wasn't exposed to the series during its formative years. So pretty much they didn't let him watch the show because they knew the show was very violent, had a lot of sex in it, and a really, really hot, beautiful Russian woman.
That show had all sorts of stuff in it. Really quick, I want to say Donald said, wasn't it originally supposed to be a series? Yeah, I think the original idea was it was going to be a mini series, right? And then they decided to make it a movie.
Yes, because of the actors that wind up coming forward to play in it. They were very surprised, and you'll see, we'll introduce those shortly. But when his father passed away, it was understood hard for him to watch his father's most iconic performance. It's something that the son ultimately put off for years before he ultimately cast in this new film. When he was given the chance to put on his father's shoes and play his role, he knew that he needed to finally watch the shows and study his late dad's performance. As he discussed in an interview with his Esquire, the young Gandolfini became into acting after his father's death as a way to heal. He learned to love the craft and used it as a cathartic way to find clarity. Certainly, his performance must have been deeply personal and gratifying experience for the up-and-coming actor. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Alessandro Nivola. He's expected to play the character of Dickie Melisante. The last name Melisante is where they got the name of the movie from. because it means the Saints of Newark. Okay, and he's actually this guy's a central role. He's the father of Christopher, Michael Emerpelli. Okay, you gonna want to read that, Lee? You just put something up.
Oh yeah, Dr. Shoop says, I don't really care what they put in movies, but there are some shows / movies that have like so many unnecessary sex scenes that takes away from the plot. And I agree. The Sopranos got away with it, I think, because it was the context that they put everything in to it.
But it's part of the culture of that lifestyle.
It fit the show without being gratuitous, at least I think.
And most gangsters do own topless bars, right, PB?
Yeah, we know PB has been.
PB, are you here? Well, I guess PB fell asleep. Okay.
Stupid fucking machine. Yeah, gangsters love topless bars.
Wow. Yeah, I actually worked at a gangster's topless bar. You know what the name of it was? The Runway. You guys don't get it.
Was it down the street from the airport?
No.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
It's the Runway is like a strip. Well, I'm not going to describe this
No,
to you guys.
everybody gets it. If you don't get it, you probably aren't watching this channel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's known Dick Molosante was a soldier and he was an addict. Though it'll be interesting to see how the story correlates to the overreaching narrative.
Hold on. You said he was an addict. An addict
Yes.
of what?
Drugs.
Heroin.
What drug? Every drug?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
The son was like the father. The son was the same way. The son was a blown.
Oh, okay. So he's like, well, I can't get any illicit drugs today. I guess it's time for the cough syrup.
Yeah. And there was a show in The Sopranos where they caught where Tony took him to the house of the policeman that killed his father. And they agreed to leave the policeman alone until he retired. The mafia did. And that day he retired, they told Christopher about it. And Christopher went and killed the policeman that assassinated his father, which will probably be in this movie. If you watch The Sopranos, there's a lot of stories of Molosante in there that most people didn't pick up. But David Chase knew at that time that he was probably going to do another movie about Christopher's father. So it was. If you watch it now, you'll see Christopher's father in 100 places in it.
I heard some people saying spoilers. I guess 20-year spoiler alert. I mean, there's a statute of limitation on spoilers, guys. I can't spoil a show from like years.
Don't worry, I'm not laughing at you, Zod. I'm laughing at what Janie Davis said in the chat. She said, apparently, if you down a bottle of extra strength, you can have a conversation with God.
Oh,
she's talking about cough syrup.
Okay.
Now, you guys, do you guys recognize this actress right here?
Yes.
Okay, she played in the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, The Departed. Remember?
Yes.
Okay, and she's a pretty big actress. She does a lot of stuff. In addition to starring with Alessandro Nivola and Gandolfini, The Many Saints will feature supporting talent. Her name is Vera Farmiga. Ray Liotta is in this, and Ray Liotta.
Yes, I love Ray Liotta. Now I'm on board.
Leslie Odom Jr. He is from Hamilton, the play that did a black version of our forefathers. He played Alexander Hamilton. John Bartholomew. We all know who John Bartholomew is, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Walking Dead Shane. And, of course, my favoriteest role in the world, The Punisher. He is now my Punisher forever.
Yeah, he is in this movie, too. And He has a pretty big role in it. Bill Magnuson. Does anybody know who he is?
No.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. If you now, you guys know who the comedian Joey Diaz is, right?
Yes, I know Joey Diaz.
Yeah, Joey Diaz. I mean, PB, do you know who Joey Diaz is?
Not off the top of my head, but the name sounds familiar. Like if you put him in a lineup with 5 other Joey Diazes, I don't know if I'd be able to pick Joey Diaz.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Joey Diaz is, we're trying to pull him up here. This is Joey Diaz's, this is Joey Diaz. Do you see the picture of him? He is always on a Joe. He's always on the Joe Rogan show. Always. He's one of Joe Rogan's best friends, and he's a real new. This guy right here.
Yeah.
You recognize PB? Okay, that's Joey Diaz, and he has one of the most.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's got one of the.
I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah, because he's everybody thinks he's Italian, but he's not. He's Cuban. But he does of. Okay, well, basically, so what do you guys think about
Wait
this?
a second. Cubans look like Italians?
Yes.
No,
when did that happen?
It's true. There's a lot of Cubans who you would think are Italian because of they got a lot of the same features, and then like, no, I'm Cuban, and you're like, no, get out of here. No, it's true. It's
so what? You got to distinguish who they are by what car they're driving.
Yeah, if you see the big dice in the window, then you know, oh, okay, they're definitely not Italian.
And everybody recognizes John Barthno right here, right?
Yes, Dr. Soup actually had a funny comment. She says, he is fantastic. He is also an attractive man, LOL.
Okay, let's not start talking about attractive men, okay? You always go in this directionally. Every show, you wind up going attractive.
What's wrong with talking about an attractive man? Are you not comfortable with your sexuality?
Okay, now are we gonna get into Kevin Spacey again?
I knew
we're not going to get into Kevin Spacey. That was before he was gay.
I would hold on. No. Now we got to go down this road because you opened this avenue. I would argue with you that you knew that factor and you were like, hey, Kevin, how you doing?
You have no idea how I played Kevin.
I don't think I really want to know.
So whoever remembers Junior from The Sopranos, this is the character of Junior when he was younger in this. So PB, you never watched The Sopranos? No,
never seen The Sopranos. The longest bit I ever saw of The Sopranos was probably a commercial.
Well, maybe
this is what we're going to do. I'm going to drive over there. We're going to have a Sopranos marathon. It'll be like a 3-day thing. We're just going to sit down and watch you have robbed yourself of one of the greatest shows constructed by man, PB. By man.
I am busy right now watching a different great show because of a deal I made on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, that sounds like a trap.
What are you
watching? It's not a trap. I'm watching Twin Peaks.
Oh, Twin Peaks is excellent. I love Twin Peaks. That's actually
Wikipedia said it was one of the greatest shows of all time. And Wikipedia never lied.
No, Wikipedia needs to calm down. Okay, Twin Peaks was great until they killed it during the first season. I'm not going to tell you why because
I watched
No. I can't talk to you about a show because you will inadvertently spoil something, not knowing that you've even spoiled it.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I'm sure you don't.
I've never ruined anything for you. Name one thing I have ruined for you.
Gosh, what was the last thing that you ruined for me? I feel like what happened before The Mandalorian? What were we watching before that? I feel like something was spoiled then, but I can't remember. You definitely
Exactly,
spoiled something, though.
Okay, so what do we got going on here? Oh, okay. He's looking for.
I just want to do one thing. Hey, you guys keep talking.
Okay. Yeah.
He
So
needs you to vamp. Oh, we're not supposed to say general anymore. God, that's going to be a tough habit to break. How many times are you going to change your name, you motherfucker?
I'm like the artist formerly known as. Hey, Carmen. Good to see you. I saw you say hi. Hi, Carmen. Let me see. Jana says, at Pop Culture PB, I was a teenager when it was on TV, and I only remember the book because my friends at my girls' school thought it was as close to porn as we'd get. I don't know if that's Twin Peaks. I gotta say, Twin Peaks is a great show. I thought it was good. I like the mystery, and who the hell is the main actor? He was a really quirky detective. I like that. Like, it was a unique.
Okay, now let me stop you. Now, can you pull up that scene I have there?
Yeah,
I just want to. I want to play what I consider maybe the greatest scene ever in The Sopranos. Okay,
hold on.
Go.
This is a spoiler from 10 years ago. Go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to show that because that was what. PB, I just wanted to show you that because that's something that's like one of the million scenes that are great scenes in the movie.
And my favorite part about that whole scene was that after that all happened and you know, she was in shock. There's the greatest line in the whole entire episode, and she goes, well, when you got rid of the body, did you at least bury him proper? And he goes, oh, yeah, Janice, we put him on a hill with some flowers and right by a stream. And she goes, really? He goes, no, I just dug a hole and dumped his body. That was like my favorite line. He's like, no, I didn't plant no flowers. But yeah, it was great scenes like that made this show so iconic. And it's why I think to this day, that people were so crazy about the ending because to me it was a great ending because it was ambiguous. And if you looked at the signs from the beginning of the show until the end, you could see what direction the writer was going in. It made perfect sense to how the whole show was constructed. And I might do a video on it that breaks down like how you could figure out what the ending was, but yeah, I think
here's one. I just showed you that scene that was considered one of the great scenes. Now, this scene is the main character was on the show for the whole entire season until the second to the last season, and it turned out that she was a snitch to the FBI. And Lee, if you want to pull that up, and wait a minute, I know what you're gonna say. Okay.
But I mean, yeah, it was like little stuff like that made the show probably yeah. Shalina, oh, people love that scene. Shalina says that was self-defense at its finest. Yep. Good night, Nitro Scale. Nice to have you on. One of these days.
All I was gonna say is I really hope that they aren't having sex.
You want to pull that? You want to pull that video up, Lee? This is going to be the last
sex
video right now. Okay, pull up the sex video.
Oh God!
This is a PB and Kevin Spacey. We caught it in the motel.
Whoa! All we did was go golfing.
You know how the media
There are no
goes.
cameras allowed in the clubhouse. That's what I was told.
Okay, here we go right here.
Look, gotta look closer. The chick or the guy?
The guy.
No.
Well, his name's Van Zant. He is the guitarist for. He's been the guitarist for Bruce Springsteen for 30 years. He's the main guitarist.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
Jamie Vick. Nice to see you. Good to see you.
What's up, Jamie Vick?
Here we go. Our actress in the show. She was one of the stars of the show. And basically, they found out she was talking to the FBI, and she was kind of forced into talking to the FBI. And she didn't want to talk to them, but you know the FBI, they're a bunch of scumbags. And she basically had no choice. And it cost her life. But, you know, that's what I'm just trying to say. You know, you could take a million scenes from The Sopranos and just watch the scene, and you'll be like, you won't even care if you've seen the rest of the episode because the scene is so good. And that's what made.
Remember the opening scene where that they're chasing that guy who owes them money, and Tony hits him with the car after he like kicks Chris or whatever. Yeah. He runs this out. Now keep in mind, this is the first episode, the first like 10 minutes of the episode, right? This guy owes a gambling debt. He starts running. Tony gets behind his car, hits him outside of this guy's job, and then looks at him and he goes, "You work for HMO, prick, you covered. Why are you crying?" It's just iconic moments like that. This is good TV that just doesn't get made anymore. It's like even the acting, like you could see if you just break down that one scene alone, you could see where she saw them turning off and she knew what was coming. And that's why she started crying and everything like that. And they're turning off into the woods and they're like, and she knows what's coming, but she's still trying to keep up the facade. Like she just is worried about Chris, but she knows that they're basically bringing her into the woods to take her out. And these are the things that make good. You don't have that with shows anymore. These new shows literally have a half hour of explaining things to people. Look at that scene. They never said, he doesn't come out and go, "Oh, I'm going to shoot you now," and all this stuff. You just watch the scene and you could tell what's going to happen. And that's what makes shows like this great is, you know, it's the way the people act. They can convey things just by looking at the camera or looking at, you know, it's like they're looking at you and you're sitting there watching it going, "Oh my goodness, she could make it." No, she's not going to make it out of this one. Damn. She was one of my favorite actresses.
Who's that?
I was mad when that happened. I was mad because I watched that. I go, throughout that whole episode, I knew what was coming. I've watched The Sopranos for years, so I knew what was coming. I knew how this was all going to end. And I said, no, she'll. And then they show that scene of her driving away, and I go, "Oh, she." And then they flash back, and I was like, "Oh, like maybe she'll lock the door." Nope. She locked the door in his car. I mean, it's not going to work. So I'm really happy about this. PB, what do you think? Would you be intrigued by watching something like this?
What, like what we just watched?
Yeah.
As a movie, a TV show, as a 5-minute clip? Like, I don't, like, yeah, the scene itself was good, but I mean, you gotta be able to build a show around it.
Oh, they built a show. You know what? Just watch the first episode. That would be my challenge to you, Mr. Pop Culture PB. Check out the first episode, and then let me know what you think. All you gotta do.
You want me to watch the first episode of The Sopranos?
Just watch the first episode. If you are not,
I already told you that I am busy.
Well, you know, sometimes in life.
Like, I guess
that
maybe
all
you
about
should
again?
have been watching the Super Bowl and tweeting along with us. But no, you were busy doing some live stream on Sunday night? Didn't you do? No, you didn't do a live stream on Sunday night.
No, I ate like 8-ounce steak that my beautiful woman brought home for me just because
Well,
I'm amazing.
Okay, let me ask you a
half a
question.
steak?
What kind of steak was it? 8-ounce steak. That is like an appetizer. What kind of
Right.
what kind of steak was it?
I'd have to ask her. She works at
See,
Outback.
this is my son. I love my son, but he doesn't know what kind of steak he ate. Now, PB, do you know what kind of steak you ate when you ate a steak?
Dude, the last steak that I had was sirloin. It was delicious. It was about, oh gosh, I think it was somewhere between 16 and 20 ounces because I'm a man.
You know what? It was free food. And Father Zod, you could tell him, what is the Cole policy on free food?
It's the best food. Without, yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
yeah, but one thing you gotta remember though is when it comes to steak. First of all, you got to know what kind of steak you eat. Like, are you eating prime rib? Or are you eating?
You got to know the cut that you're eating.
Yeah. I mean, if someone puts a steak in front of, if someone puts a steak in front of me and I look at it and it looks like chuck steak, I'm gonna like.
Fuck that! Nope. You take that right back, and I'll be leaving your establishment. Or if you're serving me a chuck steak, you must be a place that only does Friday fish fry. And if you're in Wisconsin, you know what the hell I'm talking about. And if you're not, you don't.
Are you just spent the last $6 of your food stamps, and you got a chuck steak, And
no, man, don't even waste it. I'll buy $6 worth of cheese before I buy a chuck steak.
No, it definitely.
There's another thing, but see that's another thing. Now, what kind of cheese do you get?
I mean, it depends on what you're going to do with the cheese. Like, if you're just having cheese and crackers with some summer sausage, I can buy the regular pound blocks that you would get at Walmart. But if you're going to get some premium cheese, I got to go to Springside down the road. That's my local establishment that's been there since, gosh, I think it was the either mid or early 70s. It's a long time.
Because there's people that will eat anything. But, it's kind of funny because...
I am one of them people. But that's how you become a connoisseur.
But something... it's kind of funny. I knew this guy that got some, those blocks of cheese. Not me. I'm not the guy. But those blocks of cheese that you get from Goodwill or free cheese and stuff, welfare cheese, they call it. So he goes and he grabs it and he goes to make a grilled cheese sandwich. And I remember he turned him around looking at me going, fucking welfare cheese doesn't melt. And he has it. He's trying to make a grilled cheese, but the fucking cheese won't melt. So, he goes, this cheese won't melt. I should have got boar's head cheese.
I'm gonna say right now, there is a point where I will take a stand. If I'm making a grilled cheese, it's got to be good cheese. I mean, it's not that expensive. You can get good cheese. But if you're making a grilled cheese sandwich, and I don't know about you, PB, you can weigh in on this because you're
No, you gotta have Kraft singles to have a good grilled cheese, period.
No,
Kraft will not even make my refrigerator.
No.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Kraft,
Unbelievable.
How could you be a cheese connoisseur and say Kraft?
You're talking about grilled cheese. We're talking about grilled cheese. As in, you're taking 2 pieces of bread and melting cheese in between them. Real cheese does not melt in the same fashion that the synthetic Kraft cheese melts in. The Kraft cheese is just ooey gooey good. And if it's not melting properly, it's because you're the fucking moron that doesn't know how to make a sandwich.
Have you ever had Land O'Lakes cheese?
I mean, maybe at some point in the past.
Or Boris said, those are those are the cheeses that you get that are the best cheeses. White, I'm talking about American cheese. And when you make a grilled cheese, what do you put on the outside of the butter? I mean, what do you put in the outside of the bread?
Yeah, you got to butter it.
Okay, but you know what the secret to a good? And I'm a chef. Remember this. Well, I was. But see, if you put mayonnaise on the bread and grill it with mayonnaise, it's much better tasting than if you use butter. Did you know that?
Thank you. Hold on a second.
Interesting.
Kat, I want to
try it. Try it, PB. If you never tried it, try it.
Kat's my new favorite person. Kat, thank you so much for bringing sanity to this conversation. Sharp cheddar. Thank you. Sharp cheddar
is my favorite cheese, but it does not make the best grilled cheese. I thought that's what the question was. But now I have to hold on. I have to answer an earlier question. Bonnie B asked why we're talking about cheese again. And the answer to that question is because they let me on the stream.
I mean, you know.
Listen, I had a pizza place. I just sold a pizza place 2 years ago. Let me tell you what I know about cheese. Now, everybody loved our pizza because the only kind of cheese that I would use was called bocce cheese. And bocce cheese, it's the most expensive mozzarella cheese that you put on pizza. And one thing you never do with pizza, and this is why pizza sucks so bad, like especially in Wisconsin, they don't know what good cheese is. And they think they know what good cheese is because their cows make cheese. But, you know, it's not. You know, that's why New York and Chicago has the best pizza because they use bocce cheese. It's an Italian mozzarella cheese. Cheese means a lot.
They don't have the best pizza. Don't let this foreigner lie to you.
No, New York does, without a doubt.
Jamie Vick says mild cheddar. I could go with a mild cheddar. It depends on your palate. Stone Cold Jeremy, he went outside of the box. Kobe Jack cheese. This one's for you.
Have you ever tried Munster cheese? Munster cheese.
Yeah, of course I've tried Munster cheese. I mean, Munster cheese is okay, but if you really want to screw with somebody, you take a little bit of Munster cheese and you grate it on top of their engine, and then when they're rolling down the road, they get this nasty smell, and they don't know what it is. It doesn't cause any real damage, but it's hilarious.
Elizabeth, no, Gina Carano did not get fired. If Disney did that, they would have a PR nightmare. No, they're just...
I would start the riot immediately. They thought January 6th was an erection. And yes, I said erection because that's what Chuck Schumer told me happened.
Yes, there was an erection. Yes, he said, a matter of fact, his exact word is Trump started an erection. Trump gave Schumer an erection.
What are you thinking about?
This sick Jewish man from New York gets an erection from Donald Trump.
Oh my God. So, all right, we got all sorts of, see, this is why we talk about cheese. When there's no subject left, we could probably go for hours about cheese. I've got all sorts of,
we didn't even talk about, hey, I was told. I went to the chiropractor yesterday and talking to the chiropractor because, that's where that went. Anyway, that I found something here in my house. Never mind. I was at the chiropractor, and yesterday was National Pizza Day. I don't know if anyone knows that. And I asked the chiropractor if she was having pizza. And she said, maybe I will, now that it's National Pizza Day. And I asked her if she had ever had the stuffed crust pizza from Papa John's. And she's the first person to tell me that she had. And she said that it was absolutely delicious, way better than Pizza Hut. And then I got a little excited. I was like, oh, really? Now I need to go to Papa John's because they got Shaq making pizzas there now, so they're not racist.
Have you ever been to Rosati's? Have you ever been to Rosati's, PB?
Probably not.
Well, it's an Italian restaurant. There's one down in the Conham Walk in Delafield. They make the best pizza in Wisconsin. That's not saying much.
You
That's
know
not
what?
saying much, but
You know what? You know what, PB? Because we are such homies. I will get a Rosati's pizza. I will drive in the middle of nowhere where you live. Like, folks, I'm not even joking. Okay, this is a true story. I had to put Mr. Pop Culture PB's location in a GPS, not my phone GPS, a literal GPS unit, because my phone died at a certain point when I got close to where he lives. And you know what the GPS brought up? Literally, his house is dead center woods. Like, no joke, no lie. I'm not exaggerating here. There's trees that show up on my little GPS, and his house is smack dead in the center of all of these trees.
were you scared? Were you scared? Were you scared when you were driving up the driveway? Like you might never
No,
leave
I was
this
scared
place?
of the bears because PB goes, okay, so PB pitches this to me like this. He goes, just so you know, there's some bears, but nothing to worry about. They're fine. Like, this is an everyday occurrence. I'm from New York. We're not used to bears.
Yeah,
Just
but listen, if someone tells you there's a bear in Wisconsin, okay, that's a little scary. But if you're in Montana and someone tells you there's a bear, that's scary. A black bear compared to a grizzly bear, you know, we seen the bear. The bears usually in Wisconsin will run from you. Whereas
Gary North says PB is surrounded by bears. That's true, PB.
well, the PB just hits him. He runs.
I had to mute for a second because the wife asked me to so she could yell at the dog because he's being a real fucker pie right now. Lay down, you son of a bitch. Just fucking looks at me.
but yeah, so we're driving up there, and at this point, Bitchy looks at me and she looks at the map and she goes, "Is his house really in the middle of those woods?" And I go, "Yeah. This isn't my first road. His house is located in the woods." When he tells you, folks, he is in the woods, that's not a euphemism. That's not him joking. He really is in the woods, and he really does know his cheeses because he's by a cheese factory. So I can't even argue cheeses with him because he knows cheese. Am I right, Mr. PB?
That is a 100% fact. My mother worked at Springside Cheese for my entire life until I was, in middle school, I believe. And then she went from working there to working at Saputo Cheese. So, yeah, cheese expert.
So, I mean, it's just, that's why when we, okay, so Father's Odd, I don't know if you knew about the stream we had, but we literally had a whole entire stream. And I kid you guys not, you can go look at my library. It was a late night talks. I text them and I go, "Guys, there's no stupid articles." It was a rare day. The media was on their game. I don't know. There were no articles. And I said, yeah, remember that day? I was like, there was nothing to talk about. We spent.
Oh, when we did the cheese stream?
Yes, we spent 2 hours talking about cheese and wine pairing.
But what it comes down to, here's what it comes down to. Did you do 2 hours of a stream where 3 people watched? How many people watched?
No, I mean, how many?
No, we actually had a pretty decent crowd for that one. For how long ago it was.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to tell everybody a Zod story about Mr. Zod.
Okay, only if it's not.
No. Well, listen, my son, he's kind of known for his driving skills.
Oh no! Okay, come on, that was a while ago.
No, I got to tell this story. So one day, we're both named. We both had the same name. One's the fourth, and I'm the third. I don't want to tell you his name because then Zod gets mad. But anyway, I got a letter in the mail from the insurance company saying that they're going to triple my insurance rates. I'm like, what the hell? Triple my insurance rate? And then I called him up and I said, I haven't had an accident in like 20 years. And they go, well, according to this, you had 3 last week. And I'm like, 3? I said, I had no accidents. So what the DMV did, they got his name mixed up with my name. And it took me a year and a half to get his name off of my name, and I had to pay these unbelievable insurance rates. And remember that rate?
All right. To be fair,
Villains.
No.
There's no being fair. 3 accidents. 1, he got a ticket for being parked by the red light and not moving.
Okay, well, I don't know what that was for. Yeah, I was tired that whatever. You know what? Hold on a second. My other younger brother, Kevin, okay, to be fair, when you got this information, he had just hit someone at a roundabout because he always had to go fast, okay, and he had his soup.
And it went into my name. It went into my name.
And it went into your name. So I'm not going to take sole responsibility for everything.
I got to tell him the shed story.
Oh, come on. Not the shed story.
There was a shed in the back house. Me and my the woman I was dating at that time had just broken up. So Lee went over there, and I told him, okay, whatever you do, be careful when you're backing out. And so then about 2 hours later, I get a call from my ex, and she goes, who hit the shed? And I said, who hit the shed? And then I said to Lee, Lee, did you hit the shed? He goes, yeah, I hit the shed. There's a dent in this shed. So I went down to look at the shed. The fucking shed was totaled. He backed into the shed and destroyed it. I mean, the shed was crushed, destroyed. And the moral of that story was that shed cost me $800.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I love
$800 right down the freaking shitter.
So you guys know.
I love my son. I love my son, but do not ever lend him your car. If you lend him his car, your girlfriend's not listening to this stream, is she, Lee?
No. No. Okay. No.
She's always listening.
She might be. To be fair, with the shed thing, I was working, God help me, at McDonald's at the time. Okay, God. A villain.
You're going to try and tell us how it was okay for you to destroy a shed, let alone your father's shed.
No, it wasn't my shed. It was my landlord's shed.
Yeah, it was his
landlord's. Oh my God, that's even worse. Something that your dad's supposed to be taking care of. And you're like, it's fine. You know, he's got it under control.
And he came walking into the house like nothing happened. I said, how's it go today? Fine, nothing. No problem. And he sits down, and he's watching TV, and he's relaxing. All of a sudden, my phone rings, and I'm like, oh, my ex is calling me. Maybe she wants to get back together. And it's like, she goes, and then she goes to me, the shed is destroyed. I bet your son was over here. She even knew who did it. She even knew who did it. Because if you found something destroyed, you knew Lee was driving.
No, but you know what's funny? Tina Flowers says, I'm blaming Johnny. I get that joke because Amber Heard blames Johnny for everything going on. Yeah, I'm blaming Johnny Depp. It was Johnny Depp's fault that the shed was directly behind me. Okay, so here's the context before you go running crazy with this. Okay?
No. You got to read what Janie Davis said and then tell your story.
Janie Davis says, Aunt Bonnie B, I just blame Zod for everything. He's my Johnny. Oh, thank you. So here's the real deal facts, okay? I was on a very long shift from Mickey D's. If you guys ever worked Mickey D's, it was like the seventh circle of hell. It was really early in the morning. Okay.
He's the only one that works. PB. Nobody else works. Just him.
Nobody
works as hard as Mr. Zod.
What's the worst McDonald's? But you know, it was really early, and then I came back a little bit later in that afternoon. I was tired. I thought I had better clearance than I did. You know what's funny about the whole thing?
You had like 500. You had like 500 feet. You had like 500 feet clearance. How much clearance do you need? You
no, here's the funniest thing. Here's the funniest thing. So I back up, right? And I didn't hear nothing. I honest to God did not know I hit the shed. I heard nothing. It was just like I got a little stuck. And then I took off it. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear a crunch. I didn't hear a bang. I didn't hear nothing. The neighbors didn't hear anything until later. So, I mean, I was guessing someone looked at the shed and saw it.
So, PB, what would you have done if Lee did that to your shed?
Oh my gosh. He'd done that to my shed? That's a damn good question. Like, we're talking about multiple stages of excoriation here. Like, physical, mental. I mean, is mental, psychological, they're all the same, whatever. We're talking about levels that are going to go on and on until you understand to stay away from my fucking shed.
Delita says at Mr. Zod's Fandom Zone IO trying to quash his depot. You're gonna have to elaborate on that. I have no clue. You know, how do you punish someone without the shed?
Exactly. How are you able to take somebody out back to the tool shed? He's like, he's not going to be whipping me in the tool shed anymore. I'll just run that sumbitch over.
No, but you know what? Here's the thing. I just, you know, when I don't like a topic or don't have a topic, I like being able to talk to you guys. This has been a really fun kind of midweek. We'll call it the midweek stream. I just want to come talk to you guys, give you an update on what's going on with Kai. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Just sit and rap and talk to you guys because I love doing it. And, you know, I really appreciate
Rebecca just got here.
Yeah, we got to stay. See, we got to stay a little while now. Rebecca's here.
Or the person that keeps on telling me to stay away from the bears. Or one of many people, I should say.
Yeah, speaking of which,
like the bears know where the roads are. I can't go off the road with a Honda Civic. So, what do you want from me, bears?
you know, here's the thing. I can say over the course of my life, I have hit a couple of things, gone off the road. But I'll tell you one thing I never hit ever once in my whole entire life. I've never hit a bear. I've never hit a bear.
Oh, I feel sorry. Some poor bear is going to get it tonight.
Oh yeah, PB.
I do have to go and deliver papers later.
I'm talking about Zod. Whenever you say something, you never done something, then you know. I thought he was going to say he never hit a person. I'm like, oh shit, someone's dying tonight. You know, and it's like.
I mean, I don't have to worry about that at night because I'm in the middle of nowhere, so there ain't nobody walking down the road.
Yeah, literally, I would be shocked if there was anyone like.
I don't know who J.D. Davis is talking about, who we is, but cyclists need to watch out in Australia.
J.D. Davis says we hit lots of stuff, including motor. See, this is why I love Slash Fear. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I was talking to my good buddy Stevie J. Stevie J goes to me, "Oi, Moy, you gotta come down here and visit Australia." And I was like, "Don't you have like big things down there and scary bugs. And he's like, oh, it'll be fine. Okay. If there's people over there hitting motorists, I don't want to be walking the Australian strip and have some guy just randomly hit me because it's a sport. I don't want to do that. I'm already scared of all of the other stuff down there. They got Mick Taylor. They got, kangaroos that box people, crocodiles, alligators, whatever the hell. They have those down there. They have scary spiders, like ginormous spiders, mutated. I don't know if I'm really psyched. Like, PB, you're coming with me when I go to Australia, just so you know.
I mean, I would love to go to Australia. It's definitely the only country. I shouldn't say the only country. It is the number one country in the southern hemisphere that I want to go to.
Lee, can you pull up the picture that I have there?
Who is this Lee fellow?
Nobody. That is not an Aussie accent at all.
Okay.
It is incredibly bigoted.
This is the shed that Lee destroyed. That shed right there. And now he was parked way over here. I mean, can you see it, PB?
Yeah.
That's the shed he destroyed. He literally destroyed it.
I knew it was a metal shed.
Yes.
I knew it. He's like, no, I've hit the front of it. I better hit the back of it to even it out.
So listen, okay, here's how we know he's BSing. I just showed you the picture of that shed. Do you think there's any way to hit that shed and not know you hit it if you destroyed it?
Oh, hey, Scott. Scott is here. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott. That's quite a question. No, not at any speed. Like, you could be doing 2 miles an hour and just roll over it slowly, and you'd be like, guys, I'm pretty sure we just took the shed out. Or you could be doing 200 miles an hour in some Lamborghini or something like that and smash through this thing, and you'd be like, yep, shed's gone, guys.
And think about this. And think about this. The fact, do you consider it sneaky that he came into the house and never mentioned it?
No, not at all, because I'm a villain.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. This has been absolutely positively fantastic.
Well, okay, I can understand where he's coming from with not wanting to tell his father that he's broken something. Granted, he didn't just break the shed, he obliterated the shed, because I remember back in the day, before I had a driver's license, my mother asked me to pull the van into the garage, and I was like, yeah, it's just pulling it into the garage. I can do that. All you got to do is let your foot off the brake, roll forward, put your foot back on the brake, and then you put it back in the drive. No problem, right? Guess what?
Uh-oh.
It was absolutely no problem. I was able to do that just fine. What I wasn't able to do just fine was judge how far it came in, and apparently the asshole who installed the garage door opener didn't do the sensitivity just right. So when the door went down, it hit the bumper on the van and just crumpled the ever-living shit out of the door. And I was like, oh, God, that's not good. And this was the day before we had to go down to Sheboygan for Christmas. And I was like, okay, well, it's going to be Christmas. It's going to be hectic. We don't need another thing pissing off my short-fused father. So let's go ahead and keep that to myself. He didn't notice for a month that the door was broken, because the garage door opener still worked to open the door and close the door. And the only problem was there was a big gap at the top of the door, like You could stick your whole freaking arm through the top of the door. You ain't supposed to be able to do that. It was bad.
And I got another picture to show you. Lee, can you pull that picture up? I'm going to show a picture of you babysitting
Hold
your daughter.
on. Rebecca says, at Mr. Zod's Fandom Zone, serious question that you must answer in front of PB. Do you like pineapple pizza? My response to this would be, I know there's controversy about pineapple pizza, but I'm just going to lay this to rest.
No controversy.
A villain absolutely positively loves pineapple. They're salty and sweet. How could you not like pineapple pizza? It's delicious. It is absolutely positively delicious.
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
I'd rather watch a Harry Potter
Unbelievable.
movie. Okay, can you pull up that picture?
How are you raising your children?
Right?
Is this your only child?
This is how he's raising his children. Do you see this picture, PB? This is him out on the day with his daughter. Do you see the picture,
man,
PB?
Look at that cutie. Look at that cutie. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yep.
Thank you. See? People love me. At Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone, you are my favorite villain. Rebecca, you understand what it is like with delicious pineapple pizza. Tina says pineapple pizza is the best. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. I knew I was not the only one. All of these years.
Tina is a liar. She's just saying it to placate the villain.
I spent half my life in Brooklyn. If you said to some guy, hey, you want to go get some pineapple pizza? You're getting beat up. You are.
Yeah, you're going to get punched right in the face, man.
Yeah.
Rebecca says,
I'm going to bust your kneecap out to be like, wait, you're trying to ruin my pizza?
Yeah, it'll be like, are you joking, right? Pineapple pizza.
Okay, hold on a second. Serious thing just came up, and I appreciate you guys bringing this up. Apparently, and we're going to have to dig into this, Father Zod, maybe we can do this for our Saturday stream. There is something floating around saying Gina Carano was fired from Star Wars. I don't believe that that's the case. I think this is just
lies, propaganda.
Yeah, I don't think
I've heard this before.
I don't think Disney would fire her.
I've heard this before, so, until you see it officially come out, I mean, I haven't seen anything on it. As a matter of fact, as you guys.
Do you think for a moment that Gina Carano herself is going to be silent if she gets fired?
No, I think there will be an immediate Twitter message because she always goes to social media. It's I love her stuff. I'll get to this in a second. She always goes to social media. I think, let me tell you something. If they fired her, there would be the biggest backlash, just as big as JD on how many people would be upset if they fired her. It would be
pull up that article, Lee. This is from today, 23 minutes ago. Pull it up.
Okay, let's see. Special article.
I'm going to read it. Don't say nothing. I'm going to read it now. Gina Carano, who portrays Cara Dune on Disney's Mandalorian, was fired from Lucasfilm on Wednesday evening.
Hell yes,
she does. Controversial social media post. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm and will have no plans for her in the future, a Lucasfilm spokesperson told IndiaWire in a statement. Nevertheless, her social media posts degenerated people based on their culture and this is such bullshit. Gina Carano controversy on Tuesday when she shared a post on Instagram that read, Jews were beaten in the street, not just by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. That's true. Because of history is edited, most people today don't realize to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews. The government first made their own neighbors hate them and simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Now tell me what that woman said there that's wrong. She got fired for that.
Wow. She was fired from... Is this legit? Because it's IndiaWire.
Yes. No, this is legit. Yes. Okay. So listen. Hold on 1 minute. So think what she's saying. She's saying that the Jews were brainwashed by Hitler. I mean, the Germans were brainwashed by Hitler, and they used to beat and humiliate the Jewish owners, knock down their businesses and everything, light them on fire, bust the window. That's what she's saying. She's not saying anything positive about Nazis. She's not saying anything like that. She's saying, see, now if you speak the truth about history, look what happens. And this is horrible. So, you know what I think? I think she wanted to get fired.
Jana brought up a great point. Thank you, Jane. She says, also, there were LGBT concentration camps, but no one ever knows about them either. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in history that they want to exclude. This is disgusting. I hope this isn't true. This is absolutely
It's true.
disgusting.
How many times? Why do you keep saying I hope
Because
it's not
I don't
true? It's all over
want
the
it to
place.
be true. I love
Because
Gina.
I've read stuff off of IndieWire before that was fucking lies.
Yes,
I'm
we
reading
have.
Okay, so the Mirror is lying too. So the Mirror is lying. That's the main paper.
Who's the
That's
Mirror?
the main paper the main paper in England. They're lying.
The Sun lied. I mean, I wouldn't put it.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
I'm being serious, guys. Come on,
I want a
see-
statement from Disney saying that they fired her.
No, you don't need a statement. The Mirror reported it. Okay, the Hollywood Reporter.
Reported it from who?
Okay,
They reported from who?
Guys, come on, guys.
No, that's what
That's
you
what
don't
I'm saying.
need to-
No, you can't just say, come on, guys, when they say they are reporting that someone got fired. That means that somebody has to make a statement that somebody got fired. So who made the statement?
George Lucas made the statement, the guy that hires her. Lucasfilm said in a statement. Do I need to say that again? Lucasfilm said in a statement, Gina Carano will not be returning to The Mandalorian. Is that like good? That's Lucasfilm saying it. The people she works for. It's true. It's true. She got fired. They've been waiting for her
See you later, Rebecca.
So they've been waiting for the longest time to fire her, and she knows it. So I think that she wanted to get fired. Okay, this is IMDb. This right here. This is Hollywood. This reports all this stuff, usually pretty accurate. And Gina Carano reportedly would have been fired long ago if it wasn't for Jon Favreau. So he's the one that's been saving her. Well, I guess this time you couldn't save her no more. Guys, if they can...
I still want to know who the specific person is who said it.
Guys, if they could take the president of the United States and shut him up and cut him out, what do you think Gina Carano is? She's nothing to them. If they could shut down the president of the United States...
This is a very, you know what? I want to definitely.
You know what they'll do next? I will bet you. Here's a bet I'll make. We'll do a show on this Saturday. But here's a bet I'll make. I'll bet you by the end of today, her Twitter channel will no longer exist. I bet you they will wipe her off. They will take her off Twitter.
So are we betting a pound of cheese on that?
They're going to take. If they could take their number one person off Twitter, they'll take Gina Carano off Twitter. You know, they took a guy off Twitter that had 80 million followers. And you know what, Gina Carano?
That's crazy, man. This is crazy. You know, the biggest thing that upsets me about this is the fact that they are talking progressive, hashtag believe all women, all of this garbage. and they just fired a woman for no reason whatsoever. Think about that, folks. This is disgusting. They literally got rid of a strong female lead that they had, arguably one of the best female leads on that show, for no apparent reason.
Okay, here's right now what there's here. This has just been released. The IMDb. This is just released. Lucasfilm released a statement saying that Gina Carano will not be brought back for future Star Wars projects. The statement notes that Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, suggesting that her contract may not have been extended beyond Mandalorian Season 2. In any event, her character, Cara Dune, it seems, will not be returning. At the very least, not with Carano in the role. So you know what this means? That means that they fired her well before this article, and she knew about it, and they weren't saying anything. Gina Carano was fired, not today. She was fired a while back.
I'm so done with Disney. This is disgusting. This is the stuff that makes me so sick about them. They get rid of a fan favorite. This is disgusting. This really agitates me. This is why I do not like Disney whatsoever. This is disgusting.
Well, you can't speak the truth, you know? And she never said anything racist. What she said was that the people of Germany used to beat the Jews in the street. That's what she said. Now, what is racist about that?
Celine said they just killed themselves by now doing this when they have bad press for what they have been doing in the past couple of years. I mean, and this is the thing that's disgusting about this. They keep on getting away with this stuff, man.
You know why? You know why they don't care? Here's why they don't care. And this is why they're not in trouble. They make so much money in China. They make so much money overseas. They don't care if they lose some money in the United States. The United States used to be the number one place to have a movie, but it doesn't matter anymore. When you got China spending the amount of money they're spending in their industry, why do you think they care about her? They're going to get that money.
Well, you know what? But here's the thing, though. This is the X factor that I've been arguing about. The China box office right now doesn't exist because that market has been destroyed by COVID. So I would still argue that they're depending mostly on the domestic box.
No, that's wrong. I'm going to tell you why that's wrong, Lee. It's wrong because the Chinese, even if their box office is closed, the Chinese are still going to give them money. The Chinese control everything right now. You know, that it doesn't matter. I mean,
Jamie Vick makes a great point. Jamie Vick says, if you don't like what Disney does, but you continue to give them money every month, that's right. Yeah,
she's talking to you.
I don't give them money. That's
right.
I don't give them a dime. I haven't given Disney
way to throw her under the bus.
Hey. She'll hit me later. Tiffany says.
Timon? Oh, go ahead.
Tiffany says, WTAF, they only want strong leads that stay with the line and their agenda, apparently. Yeah, I agree. Timon says, this one's for you.
She probably had to sign an NDA. And if she had to sign an NDA, I would really hope that she got paid to sign that NDA. And then, it's probably worth that couple $1 million.
Okay, here's the Daily Beast. Now, if the Daily Beast, they're pretty solid. The Daily Beast is reporting this now. So they're reporting she's fired. So it's true. Okay. And now you're going to see stronger and stronger places come out right now. Now the Daily Beast is reporting it. Now here's what they're saying. Wednesday night, she shared a post that seemed to suggest having different political views in 21 was similar to being Jewish in the Holocaust. Now, this is not what it says at all. they're lying. See, they come after everybody. They're just coming
but
after everybody.
that's what it says to them.
Yep, and they just come after everybody, and it's not going to stop. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And once again, if they could take down the president, they could take down anybody. Nobody is safe from them. Nobody. But you got to be like Gina Carano and not care. Gina Carano doesn't care. She's already told them F you how many times. You know, she's not going to starve. She seems like the type of woman that has everything situated in her life financially. She doesn't look like the type of that makes money and goes out and blows it like most of the people that are woke. You know, most of the people that are woke are a bunch of losers that, you know, don't have a dime to their name because they spend everything.
Yeah, the other ones, I mean, people think that all these big time tech people are actually woke, but it's fake woke.
Yeah, yep. Well, she was what was just brought up too. Can you bring that last one that was just up, Lee? Okay, woke Disney supported all women firing Gina Carano is almost as awesome as Aunt Jemima being replaced by Pearl Miling Company during Black History Month. So basically, this is a great quote, which she just said. Aunt Jemima was a black woman that started her own business, and they took her face. Her great grandson came out and said, "You was saying yesterday what an insult it was that they took his great grandmother's face off the box." So basically, for a corporation, they replaced Aunt Jemima's face with a corporate logo. Do you hear anybody saying anything on the woke side? Let's face it. You know, I told you I want to swear in this, but fuck the woke. You know.
Yeah, right now, just so you guys know, right now, and PB, you know this person because we've had them on, but Ahsoka Tano fan just confirmed for me too. She said she heard Gina Carano was fired as well. So I'm getting DMs about this right now. I
just read you 20 papers. That's not good enough.
No, I take my sources, my raccoons.
Oh, you take sources, okay, over newspapers. Okay.
Over the news, yes. I have proved on this channel why the news is unreliable several different times. But
not when 100 newspapers report it all within 20 minutes. You got to know when it's real.
This is ridiculous because the biggest thing that upsets me about this whole thing is the fake posturing and pretending that you're rallying behind this cause. And you can say, oh, we're progressive and all this bunch of nonsense. And then at the same time, fire your strongest female lead. And here's the thing. Disney didn't fire someone who was some random secondary character. People love this character. PB literally probably only watched the show for Gina Carano.
I mean, no.
I mean, is that a fact, PB, or was because I only watched it for Baby Yoda, honestly.
I mean, it's pretty. She's the best character on the show, easily, for me.
Yeah, Gina Carano hasn't released a tweet in 7 hours.
I mean,
so,
there might be better actors on the show, but I don't think that there was a single person on that show that could do everything that she could do. Like, you're not gonna see Mr. Esposito going toe-to-toe with whoever was under the Mandalorian helmet when they were fighting. Well,
I don't understand, PB, why they didn't fire Gina Carano for this retweet. She retweeted this 14 hours ago. A major earthquake with preliminary magnitude of 7.5 has been reported 250 miles east of New Caledonia. A tsunami watch was issued for American Samoa. The threat for tsunami in areas of Fiji and New Zealand is now being monitored. She just went after New Zealand and Fiji's. I mean, why didn't, earthquakes, she's talking about. They could have got her here. Teach your children to fact check the fact checkers. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't get rid of her there. And the world will know that free men stood up against a tyrant, that few stood against many, and before the battle was over, even a god king can bleed. Oh, Gina wrote that. So she's and look at that, influenced. She has a tweet up called "Influenced."
Yeah, seen that one.
And then she has one up of looking beautiful in a Christmas hat.
You know what? You know what? This is so disturbing. I've got to go drink more and go to sleep. I can't handle this sad news. Because I wanted to give Lucasfilm the benefit of the doubt that they were finally doing something. They were finally getting things back on track. We weren't dealing with woke nonsense. They were going, and you know what? I don't lay this on Jon Favreau because he's stuck up for her. This is purely
bullshit. Jon Favreau is a liberal.
He did
turd.
several
I don't
times.
give a shit.
Don't
He's stuck up for
Jon under the bus.
He's a piece of shit. Okay, whatever. You say whatever you want. Jon Favreau is no better than any of these other liberals. That's what it comes down to.
I totally disagree with you. I'm sorry. We're going to have to agree.
Okay.
But,
oh no, a disagreement in the fandom zone. What are we going to do?
Do you, okay, PB, do you think Jon Favreau really gives a shit?
I mean, like 40%.
Thank you. 40%. Why don't Jon Favreau
Which is a lot more than a lot of people in Hollywood. But he's not like, I need to make the greatest thing of all time every time. No.
Or how about if Jon Favreau said, if you fire her, you fire me? That's when you could tell me that he's standing up for her.
I mean, yeah, he could do that, but he's waging a war right now to get Star Wars back on track from that horrible beast that is Kathleen Kennedy.
No,
I mean, we've been
Star Wars is done. No one's bringing it back.
I don't want to agree with you, but it's looking like with these decisions, it's honestly, I wish I could argue the point with you, but honestly, I can't argue that. With everything going on with this franchise, and look, I've watched Star Wars since Laserdisc, okay? But
freaking Laserdisc. Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the comments in the chat going back and forth about me.
Yeah, I see that. That's hilarious. But yeah, this is just ridiculous. Look, it's getting to a point where I don't even know what to watch anymore because no matter who you tune into, there's always this ugly, Laserdisc all out of bubblegum. Anyways, there's always this ugly thing about every single. Is it just me? I mean, Father Azad, am I wrong? Is it just me, or every company is shady and crappy? They're just all terrible. All of these companies are absolutely horrible.
What this is the people that run these companies now were educated by the progressive left of all these people in the colleges. They're all brainwashed. They all believe one way. They don't believe two ways. They think one way. If you go on Twitter, just go on Twitter. Have an argument on Twitter. Do you think that one person that you argue with on Twitter, you're going to change your mind about anything?
No, we've had some
No.
epic arguments. I know a couple of people who are here in the chat, some lovely people. I've had some arguments, and you hear the most ridiculous things. And it's like,
I'm pretty sure
you
I've changed
researching?
everybody's mind that I've ever had an argument with on Twitter. Every single one.
Yes.
But yeah, this
Yeah.
is
Let me give you an example.
so ridiculous.
The actor that I talked to, Loon Lee.
Yep.
Lee, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. So I told you he called me at home and he's talking to me. And you know one thing I discovered about him when he was talking to me? He had his mind set. He wasn't going to change it for nothing. And he wanted to know why I thought the way I thought, not to ask me about maybe he was thinking the wrong way, but he was talking down to me like I was like, how can you think anything good about Donald Trump? You know, they think
I don't know, because I like to get a tan.
So 74 million. Here's what they think. They think the 74 million people were wrong. That they had no right voting and they're all a bunch of evil people. And, you know, I know people that are good people that voted for Biden, and I know people that are good people that voted for Trump. And then I know assholes from both sides too, but I'll tell you what, I know a lot more liberals who are assholes than I do anybody else.
See, here's the thing, though. It's not about labels, because I heard some people saying, you know, this not all liberals are like that, Mr. South Florida drifter. And that's the thing. This is the problem that we're talking about. It's labeling people in this category. And here's the deal. It's not a label. It's the person. People are individuals. Not
anymore. No. It's not that way no more, Lee. People are groups.
Let me finish. To me, you have individuals that can be assholes or not assholes. But the problem is, all of the assholes in the world are getting together and having the loudest voice. That's why the people who are clear-minded, everybody in this chat, everybody who we talk to, we've got to make a loud voice and be just as loud as they are. Because the sad truth is, the people up above, let's just say the Mount Olympus, or as they like to think of themselves, Mount Olympus of Hollywood, they don't understand, they don't care about what one side or the other says. They don't care about either side.
What's the main reason they don't?
One thing, money. That's it.
What's the main reason? What's the main reason? What's the main reason they don't care about what Americans think anymore?
I'm going to say money, honestly. It's all about money.
Whose money?
It's always been, yeah.
Chinese money.
It's the foreign.
Not just pot is going to bring in the most money.
And you got to remember too, I'll give you an example. The CIA just, Joe Biden just named a director to the CIA. Do you know who he worked for right before he got elected? He got named for head of the CIA. PB, who do you think he worked for?
Jeffrey Epstein.
China. The head of the CIA.
The government of China?
Yes, he was getting paid millions by the government of China. So the head of our CIA now, who's supposed to protect our country, is in bed with the Chinese government. Isn't that scary?
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to do extra super secret spy operations in China now. That'll be extra reliable information coming in. Because all of us, I don't think that there's anyone in the chat from China, and I would guess that everybody in the chat isn't on the side of communism.
South Florida Drifter, thank you, says labeling in general is a problem. You're right, Zod. Civil PPL need to be much louder. Thank you. I agree. Yes, we need to be a lot louder. All out of Bubblegum says, check out The Social Dilemma. I've never seen that, but I've seen the thing.
I've seen it. The Social Dilemma is I could do a review on African thing. Like, it has nothing to do with the actual devices or apps that you can use, at least from my perspective. But that's
Okay,
just me.
Lee, can you pull up that article that I just put there?
Who?
Lee's going to pull up an article just so you see
Who?
that. Okay, I'm sorry, Zod. Okay, do you see what this article's right here says, PB?
Biden picks to head up CIA has ties to China via a think tank. He serves as president.
Think about that. And that's true. Now, that story. So, the head of the CIA now is also a member of a Chinese think tank. How scary is that? And this ain't about being liberal. This ain't about being conservative. This is about fact that now they don't even care if anybody knows. They're like doing it and they don't care. So this is, everything that's going on right now is going on through China, including the movie industry.
And here's the thing, that's been proven. I can prove, look, this is not just me saying this. I can prove that a lot of cinema companies now have been basing their franchises on foreign markets. And here's the simple proof. Look at big blockbuster films before COVID, okay? Before we had COVID, they had Fast and Furious and the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw at number 1 at the box office, okay? Now look at the releases before then and ask yourself, how does a movie, and don't get me wrong, I saw Hobbs and Shaw. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't pay money for it. I got free movies. But that's not the point. The point is, ask yourself how a movie like Fast and Furious and Hobbs and Shaw could hold number 1 position in the world, right? Because the movie is specifically shot and designed for the foreign market to get more money because there's more of a population there to give the sales a boost, right? And here's the thing, that makes Hollywood think that all of these movies that are just big blockbuster films with no substance, no kind of story, nothing to them, that's what people want. But here's the thing, it's not what people want. They're tailoring it for a different demographic. Now look at the big blockbuster films released now. How many of them actually made money? None. Tenet was supposed to be a big film. It did not do anything here. There's a couple of other big animated films. They did terrible here. You want to know why? Because they were meant for a foreign market and released domestically and streamed domestically. The streaming numbers are different, but the point is the same. The box office was largely dependent on foreign money, foreign viewing. Now that market has been gone, that's why they push back all the movies. Because they're solely depending on the foreign market to boost the sales, to make a movie seem better than what it actually is. It's all in the number.
Yep. Lee, can you pull up that article? This is just in from MSN News. Okay. This is just in from MSN News because PB wanted more, which I don't blame PB. Okay, so this is the Hollywood Reporter, and through MSN, they're reporting Gina Carano will not be returning to the Mandalorian artist Star Wars Galaxy after sharing a post on social media inferring that being a Republican today is like being a Jewish during the Holocaust. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm. There are no plans for her in the future. Well, basically, the articles are coming out in one right after another right now. So unfortunately, Gina Carano has been fired. So,
and you know what? I bet you she's not saying anything because of something she has signed. I bet you she can't come out and say anything because she signed something in her contract. Because you see
what
that
I
with a
think?
lot of stars. They
I
won't
think
comment.
that, yeah, I agree with Lee. I think that Gina Carano wanted to be fired. I think that she knew when she put that out that she was going to be. She knew when she put that out it was going to be controversial. She was probably just worn out. She's just tired of it, you know. So, you got to give the woman a lot of credit. She's not changing her beliefs. She says what she wants. She's not a coward. We should all be glad that she's this way. And so
Oh,
what if she
I
got
wanted to
fired?
highlight what South Florida Drifter said. They had a very good point. National debts can be traded, brought, liquidated, etc. I've said for years that China will own us one day, but that was because we stopped manufacturing. That was a very great point, South Florida Drifter. That is an excellent point. And this is what I love about you guys in the chat. Look, no matter what you guys feel, I don't care what you voted politically or whatever. That's not what my channel is about. I am just glad that we can all gather here and talk and have a difference of opinion, because that's what this channel is about. You don't have to agree with me.
Yeah.
You don't have to
And you know the
agree with
reality,
me.
Lee, 90% of the people in your chat room are not agreeing with anything that happened today. 90% of the people in your chat room are anti-Biden. And they know what's going on. See, they want you to think, society wants you to think that
half of them are foreigners that don't care.
Yeah, here's the great thing, though. The one thing we can all agree upon is that we don't, as a whole, like the woke culture and where everything is going, because this just doesn't affect what's going on here. This affects what's going on because media, that's the beautiful thing about entertainment. Entertainment and media reaches everybody. Australia, the UK, China, Japan, the Netherlands, no matter where you go.
Entertainment's dead. Entertainment's dead. For half the people in this world, entertainment's dead.
And that's what people realize.
You cannot, give me a minute, Lee. You cannot turn on Netflix. You cannot turn on Amazon without everything being politically tilted. It'd be nice to be able to watch something that had no politics in it, left or right. And this is what, it's horrible what's going on here. And this has happened so fast. And what's happened is when Donald Trump was elected to office, he has torn the lid off everything. And all the evil, we've always been this evil, but now we see how evil we are. Not we as a people, how the people that run this country, how evil they are. How the people that run these studios, how evil they are. And how everything's so political. If you're an actor and you do not agree with the way that people that run Hollywood agree, you are done. When's the last time James Woods had a movie? When's the last time John Voight had a movie? They haven't done anything in a couple of years now. They're done.
Look at Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, same thing. Brad Pitt, same thing. All of these people that we know and love are being thrown under the bus.
Yeah. Well, Brad Pitt's safe. He just doesn't talk about politics. He's smart. He just doesn't say anything about it. The best thing to do is not talk about it.
And that's why this channel was formed, to help you guys to come together, to have a place to talk, to where we can talk about all sides. And this has been a great conversation, but Bitchy is here and I gotta go spend time with the wonderful unicorn. So I'm gonna start.
When we started this show tonight, it was basically to talk about the Sopranos and to talk about Johnny Depp. And you've seen within a couple hours what happened. All of a sudden, this thing with Gina Carano happened.
Yeah, that was crazy. We just got this breaking news. This wasn't what we were
just like that. But this is how the world is now. It is breaking news every 20 minutes, and all the breaking news is always negative. There's no positive news no more. They don't give us any more positive news. We don't even. When's the last time we heard a word from Donald Trump's mouth? They shut him
You know
down.
what I would love? Breaking news that a puppy saved somebody. Remember those news stories they used to do when they were like, oh, Timmy was trapped in a well and this puppy barked and they found Timmy and he was safe and sound, and I'm
Now
just
Timmy would get arrested for saving the puppy instead of letting the
I just want to hear something positive, but unfortunately with the way the YouTube verse is, yes, Elizabeth, I will enjoy the fun with the unicorn. I'm going to go and cuddle. She's saying I'm being too loud.
And people, remember one thing. If you're a fan of Gina Carano, you will never see her in anything again. She's done.
That's okay. I will.
I'm just letting you know.
Let the rewatch begin.
Well, it's a shame. It's a shame, though. It's a shame, though. It's really a shame because, and I understand what PB means. PB and myself, we like her a lot. She's actually on my friends list, not just where I'm on her list like PB. And I'm just kidding, PB.
We can't all be that lucky.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe one day she'll come here in the Fandom Zone and we can all talk to her and tell her how much we support her.
Now, if she came on the Fandom Zone, they would take your channel and turn it off.
That's all right. It wouldn't be the first time they did hashtag.
No, that's what they would do.
No, I disagree because my friend Drunks 3CPO has 36,000 subs and he had her on his channel several times. So I disagree with that. I think that
he had her before this happened. No. He had her before this happened.
I would still disagree.
You're living in fantasy world, son. You're living in fantasy world.
That's not how the YouTube verse works.
That's how it works. That's how it works. We're talking YouTube here. YouTube is owned by Google. You know that, right? YouTube is owned by Google.
South Florida Drifter, thank you so much. They said resolved racism, though. Love listening to you guys. Love the chat. Thank you. We love you too. But I mean, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Put on out of bubblegum. I'm gonna read that and tell her. Okay, you're absolutely right. Tim Pool did have Alex Jones on, but what happened? They erased it. Tim Pool got up the next morning, and his show was gone with Alex Jones. He had to go fight them to put the show back on. It was gone. I mean, so it wasn't like he had Alex Jones, and Tim Pool will never have Alex Jones again. Tim Pool even said that. He said that I don't know if I can have him anymore. They pretty much told Tim Pool, do not bring Alex Jones on no more. So Alex Jones didn't win that one. Tim Pool did not win that one. And look how much Alex Jones has lost. It's incredible. They could break anybody they want at any time.
Barbara, you have a good one too. All right, let's start to wrap everything up. As always, Father Zod has been on, but you're helping me along. So, Mr. Pop Culture PB, what do you have on your channel? What exciting new things do you have coming to the YouTube verse that'll stir up controversy?
Apparently I gotta make a frickin' rant video about this disastrous news, but the next video that I was working on currently was the video of the challenge. Well, I guess it's not really a challenge. It was a bargain that I made with Bonnie B on Sunday that I would watch Twin Peaks and she has to watch Stargate. And I found it hilarious because I was like, I got 3 seasons to watch. You got 17.
That sounds like a great trade-off. Bonnie, you're in for a magical adventure. Stargate is an epic, colossal space adventure. Yeah, you just don't understand how great it is. It's okay, I forgive you. So yeah, here on the channel tomorrow I have the Rookie Critic coming on. He's a friend of Black Angus. He will be here. He did my first interview with Black Angus. on his channel. So it'll be like a reunion. It'll be great. Rookie will be here. Saturday, we have our normal show. Friday, we have our crazy antics. Sunday, me and the bitchy one have to do a review on Batman and Robin. And it's going to be on Bat Nipples. So you guys want to tune in for that. And we're going to have to be very drunk because it's a terrible movie.
You got to do one on Batgirl, too. Batgirl, too.
Oh, I don't. You know what? People request me to do these Batgirl reviews. I hate this show. I'm sorry, Batwoman, to be politically correct. Oh, my God. This is the worst show ever.
No, it's called Bat It.
It's like, yes, thank you. All Out Bubblegum says Batwoman.
Yeah, Batwoman. Hey, a lot of people showed up. A lot of people showed up for this show late, I noticed tonight. Thank you to them. I mean, just people came out of the blue, like two hours into the show. Did you notice that?
Yes, I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. And, hit that like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always.
And we'll be talking about Gina Carano. We'll be talking about Gina Carano. And I'm going to send her a note and beg her to come on your show.
Oh, yes. Yes. I would love to. If we could get Gina Carano on here. Everybody, as a matter of fact, everybody hit 1 if you would like to see us get Gina Carano on the show. Go ahead. I'll wait for a bit before I do my outro. Everybody hit 1 if you want Mr. Zod to try to get Gina Carano on this show. Because I think that would be a great interview.
And hit 2 if you want Joe Biden.
Oh my God, no. I'm not having anybody on this show. You can have Joe on the show, but I ain't going to be on that night. I don't care that he's president. I'm not having somebody on that doesn't know where he is and can't string 2 sentences together.
Hey, but listen, hey, PB, how great would it be to have Joe on the show with no one protecting him and you can ask him whatever you want?
Oh, you know that somebody would be protecting him. There's 20 people standing behind the camera with signs just waiting to be like, what question did he ask? Read this sign.
Maria, now I think they just want to see you angry, PB.
Jane and Maureen put up 2. Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. Lee, I'm gonna put out an article. I'm gonna put out and ask Joe Biden, but then the Secret Service would arrest me to think I had something devious planned.
Yeah, I mean, we can't guarantee you it will be awake for the whole interview, but we can guarantee you that PB will be very angry.
Imagine if he was by him. If he was by himself. If he was by himself, though, can you imagine how bad we could fuck with him? You know, just asking questions like, "When's the last time you had pudding?" Or
Isn't that all your presidents? I mean, no.
Joe.
It was.
Hey, Joe,
it definitely wasn't the last one. It wasn't the one before him. It was definitely the one before him. You ever heard of a Bushism? Freaking hilarious.
Boy, he turned out to be Bush turned out to be the biggest traitor in the world. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Now, out of ones, we got some. Well, we got -2. We got -2.
Phantasmagorical.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
So, I'm just gonna say the ones won this one.
So -2
so
is
we'll
an
have Gina.
upside down Joe Biden.
Gina, I need a picture of you, PB, to get Gina on here.
Send me your email address, because if I send you the pictures through Twitter, then they don't come out as clean.
Whatever that means.
Twitter puts some weird freaking border around PNG pictures.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Lee, why don't you lead us out of here, Lee?
I don't know who he is.
Zod, why don't you leave us out of here so you can go to Mrs. Zod?
Yes, the Mrs. Dictator. All right.
Mrs. Unicorn.
With the Miss Unicorn, yeah. All right, you guys all have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, remember the only rule here in the Fandom Zone: kneel before Zod.
Nah, man, they